Oh my god.
Just give me a quick sec. I think
Sorry guys, Tony's trying to figure out how to have sex with a toaster.
all of my feelings from my movie week are kind of gathering up right now, and I think it's trying to come out as like one thing. So give me a moment.
Sure.
You go ahead and talk about your give them.
Well, first of all, guys, how you doing? Episode 5. It only took us what, a month? More than a month?
Nobody missed us.
Nobody missed us. Nobody cared. That's not true. Adi cared. He asked, hey, "What about the new episode? What happened to the new episode?" I did post a story some time ago where I said, "Oh, episode 5 is recording. The podcast is still going. It's just one. We were still figuring some things out. Tony and I had an epic battle on top of a mountain where he said he had the high ground, and I said my new empire. They have Yakuza League?
Yeah.
I didn't know they dropped it on there.
Yeah, I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
How was it?
It's okay.
Not better than the first one?
Not better than the first one.
Anyway, so Tony and I were still figuring some stuff out for the podcast. We did make some changes. As far as our routine and scheduling goes, part of it was my fault. I kept trying to make a lot of promises to help us adhere to a schedule. But moving forward,
while you're doing that, I think I can finally express how I feel about my full week of movies this week in one word.
Call me old-fashioned, but I do not believe that you have to shock people to get a laugh.
Oh my God!
Please stand back. Please stand back.
It's a circle jerk, Bill. Drop your pants and grab some lube.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump.
I'll be like the Iron Chef at Pound and Vaj.
Please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump, please.
You in jail?
Why am I going to jail?
Let me show you. This is gonna happen to your little ass in jail.
Oh my God!
In dear God's name, please stop this truth.
I don't want to do this, but we gotta dump the Quaaludes.
All y'all! Won't be the rainbow read me, nigga!
If you want to survive, you either gotta fight the tiger,
Shut the chopper!
or you gotta dance with the tiger.
Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
The whatever makes sense. Show.
I'll be honest, there's more. There's more of that for way longer, but I think I'll suppress it for now because I think this week of the week of movies that we had was pretty experimental. I think I'm gonna use that word because it really just, at least for me, it played on my my ongoing battle with movie theater experiences.
okay, and there you go. We're doing a movies episode, guys. It's been a big. Well, let's say the last 2 weeks we were catching up on like a bunch of different movies.
Mm-hmm. Old and new, yeah.
Well, actually, since like the beginning of July, I went to go see the new F1 movie. You got to see the Jurassic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dad and I went for 4th of July actually.
Oh, okay.
It was really good, but we'll talk about that later. So I saw F1. You went to go see Jurassic World Dominion.
New World Order, something like that.
Okay, I can't keep track. I'm not even that big of a fan of it. So you got to saw the new Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then we went to go see Superman last week.
I saw it twice.
I rewatched a couple of movies, which we will bring up. in a bit. And then Tony, you went to go see Superman again.
Yeah.
You lucky bastard.
I think, kind of give it a little bit of like already going to the afterthought, but I saw Superman. We saw Superman
Yeah.
on Saturday, and then I got invited to go see Jurassic Park on a Tuesday, which made me just a complete total opposite of hope that I got from Superman. And then watching Superman uh, the following days after made me feel hope again. Actually, I went back to wanting to be a better person.
Wow.
But there was that time in Jurassic Park where I was thinking about like opening up the nearest liquor store and just spewing every slur that I knew.
So it's safe to say you didn't like the new Jurassic World movie.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was great if you want to like just bore the hell out of yourself. If no like sleep medication or none of that stuff is working out for you, go see that movie. $12 to fall asleep. That's what I almost did.
So you paid $12 for a sleep aid.
Well, actually, no. It was on Tuesday, so it was $5.50.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Half off.
Yeah. But you know what? Why don't we start this off hopeful? Because I want to hear so chronologically.
Okay, yeah, let's go chronological. So I went to go see F1 with Dad.
Yeah.
He was like, I want to go see a movie. We saw the trailer some time ago. I didn't want to watch it a lot, just because it felt like a return to just like regular movies from the 80s.
Well, what was that? Recently there was a movie with that car movie that had like wasn't Brad Pitt also in it? Not F1. There was like another one where it was
I
like
think of Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah. Was
it
that
was
same
and that one's
style?
A little bit, but that one's like based on a true story, and
Yeah.
it's a James Mangold movie. James Mangold does a lot of these types. It's almost, I don't want to say like historical epics or like biographical epics, but like just to give you an idea, he did the Johnny Cash movie, I Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix. A lot of his movies are like that.
Yeah.
And then he does like a complete shift because he goes from doing movies like that to then doing the Wolverine in 2013 where he goes to Japan. And then
okay.
Logan.
Wow, okay, that's an interesting
He's a legitimately great director. Like, I really do like his work.
So he did the F1 movie?
And no, he did the Ford v Ferrari, which is another great car movie. I remember I went to go see that one with Dad too.
Yeah.
And that one's just a really fun movie.
Okay, that guy's got a real good way of writing stories of things that you like. Most of these plots you shouldn't really care about.
I mean, they're like Wikipedia articles.
Yeah.
Like he's turning these Wikipedia articles into these epics with great actors, great cinematography, even good soundtracks. So James Mangold knows the shit. And F1 falls in that line. It really did feel like well, first of all, it's made from the director that did the Top Gun sequel, Maverick.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see that one. I heard it's very good as a follow up to the first one. But he does, I guess he's gonna be like the next Jerry Bruckheimer. Jerry Bruckheimer did a lot of these kinds of movies in like the 80s and 90s. No, I was gonna say he did the Pirates movie, but he didn't do the Pirates movie. But he does a lot of these kinds of movies. It's not like trying to be a comic book movie. It's not trying to be like I don't know how to explain it. It's just that I feel like now movies are so saturated.
It's like you're putting an
franchises.
You're putting an emotion to something that people would never thought would have an emotion to it in the first place.
Not even it didn't even require a lot on our part as an audience. Like, for example, okay, so in F1, I'll do a spoiler free, and we should do this for the movies that we talk about.
Yeah, no,
we'll do a spoiler free portion, and then we'll warn people to whatever time jump. I'll put it up on the screen.
Except Jurassic Park, I don't think there's anyone that's gonna.
Nobody's gonna care about that one, but even though it's dominating the box office somehow. So in F1, essentially the story is that Brad Pitt is a professional racer, because it opens up with him, I think at Daytona for NASCAR. I can't remember the race specifically, which is completely different from F1 Formula One racing. Like those are supercars. And so He's like a washed up driver who was supposed to be a big thing in F1 in the 90s, and then a bad accident happened, so he never went back to F1, and then he just did like odd jobs for like race teams, right? And then Javier Bardem, he plays his ex teammate from the 90s who now owns an F1 team, right? And they're losing money because he has a driver that's supposed to be hot shit, but they keep losing races and they keep losing money. So he's like, I need you to come race for me. Now please be quiet while I put my penis in you.
Does this count as a video game movie?
No.
Okay.
Because I think you're thinking of
the F1 games, yeah.
What was the name of that franchise? It had David Harbour.
Yeah.
Somebody,
that was that was like the last ever like car movie that I thought of where they made. It's like, oh, we got a bunch of like people that played our racing game, and they're going to be actual like Formula One racers, and we're going to train them hard, and they're going to. This is just showing you how real the gaming world is.
Well, yeah, I remember. Here, hold on, David Harbour. Oh, Gran Turismo. Yeah, like those old games. And then somebody made a joke that David Harbour plays Gran Turismo in the movie. It's like if I were to say I don't know, Mario Kart, and David Harbour plays Mario Kart, the character. Not even Super Mario, it's just Mario Kart. So anyway, the thing is that it's not even that much of a plot for the movie. You're just watching Brad Pitt bring like the old school ways to the new school of F1. You know.
Oh, okay, so Cars.
Yeah, but like it's shot really well.
Like Cars.
It's got great pacing.
Like Cars.
It's got cool music.
Lightning McQueen. Cars.
And it's just a fun movie.
Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long. Does Brad Pitt sing that as he's going like 50 miles an hour in the highway?
No, he just beats Angelina Jolie on an airplane.
See, you told me once that wasn't real, and then you're just like, oh, so it's
That's
fake,
why,
and then you
it's
go,
a joke.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it turned out like none of that stuff turned out like it was investigated by the FBI. None of it came out to be like true, I guess. That's not factual. If this ends up on the episode, look up the research. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Brad, if you're hearing us, good job.
Article comes out the next day.
You gotta let him know.
Brad, just want to let you know, I'm literally you from Fight Club.
No, it would be
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Cliff Booth, where he may or may not have killed his wife on a boat. And then,
all right, Brad, I need you to for this scene. It's gonna be implied that you're on a boat with your wife. All right, I got it.
I think Tarantino.
I didn't even tell you. No, I got it. I understand the assignment.
I think Tarantino hates women. Just on a quick tangent, I think he hates women. Like in Reservoir Dog, it's all a bunch of dudes, right? But there is a woman where I think it's when Steve Buscemi's running down a sidewalk from the cops, and then like there's a shootout, right? And then like the only one to get shot is like a woman in the crowd. Cut to Pulp Fiction, Uma Thurman overdoses, and then they have to like. Granted, he's saving her life, right? But like she's getting brutally stabbed by the adrenaline needle in her heart, and then you have, Kill Bill is just torture for the bride the entire movie.
Yeah.
Death Proof is the only one where you can kind of go, okay, maybe he's not. He's like Kurt Russell plays the stunt driver who murders people with a car. He's a serial killer, and his weapon of choice is a car. Kills brutally, crashes into a car full of like the first group of women in the first half of the movie, only to get his ass beat.
Oh, Brad Pitt gets that?
I'm so lost.
Yeah, what point? Like, sounds like, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Both of these movies are like meshing together.
No, because like
Brad Pitt's looking at the person, whoever. It's like, by the way, there's only one side of this, a death proof. Could you imagine being so confident, and then that scene, you're actually, for some reason, you messed up completely, and you made the passenger side death proof, not the driver's side. just look. Kurt Russell was looking at her. He's like, "You're a real fucking idiot for not sitting in the driver's seat." And then cut to her just going, "Yeah, I mean, he called me an idiot." And then all of a sudden, like,
I was safe the entire time.
Poles in his face from the truck in front of us.
The car literally exploded only on his seat. Everywhere else was fine. I have 0 scratches or dents on my body. Nothing's broken. He fucked up. He's like, he fucked up. I don't know how, but
yeah. So I can't believe. So Brad Pitt fucks up in the movie.
Which one? No, in F1. I guess there's. First of all, I feel like anybody who really wanted to see F1 already went to go see F1.
It's a car enthusiast movie as well.
It really is. No, but I mean, like, F1's gotten really popular. Even Dad's into it now. I never expected him to.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dad loves cars.
But I mean, if anybody should have been a race car driver, it should have been him.
We're getting closer to his return, and the closer we get to him, the faster things are going to happen. The faster the healings, the faster the deliverance, the faster.
F1, I thought it was a solid movie. Like I said, it felt like a return to like 80s and 90s movies, more 90s, where it's like you could make a movie about anything. The budget doesn't have to be that big, as long as you got a leading person that people like and a good soundtrack and it looks good, then make it. I guess he wants to do a follow-up movie. Did you ever see Days of Thunder?
No,
it's a race car movie from the 90s with Tom Cruise.
First I've heard of it, honestly.
But he races like NASCAR race cars, like those kinds of supercars. And I guess the director only wants to do it because he just did Top Gun Maverick before this one with Tom Cruise. And he said, like, I think I always had this fantasy to do an F1 movie with Brad Pitt and then have him race Tom Cruise. But it's his character from Days of Thunder, the one that everybody remembers. Nobody does. I don't think they even like each other, because I think they hated each other on Interview with a Vampire, because they were Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they seem like they don't get along as much.
They were at each other's premiere for movies. Brad Pitt went to the Mission Impossible premiere, and then Tom Cruise went to the F1 premiere. By the way, that was on my to watch list, the Mission Impossible, and I never got a single chance to go.
Oh yeah, it came out, right?
Yeah,
the last.
I was really excited for it too.
Yeah, I forgot that it came out.
I was too busy to go. What did we go watch with Nat and Ivan? We saw Sinners. Well, I saw Sinners with them, but there was also
the John Wick Ballerina movie.
Oh, Ballerina, which we can also throw in here too if you want.
I guess, but
we'll get to that one later. And Sinners. We also watched Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, we talked about Thunderbolts. But I mean, that's pretty much F1. Like, I liked it a lot. I gave it a solid, like, 7.5 out of 10.
It's a mood movie.
It is really, like, you know how, like, you'll see those aesthetic edits on TikTok of, like, F1 racing, but it's all more focused on, like, the style, the look, the feel. Everybody wants the racing jackets with the Marlboro logo on the back.
Yeah,
like they it's more on that.
Yeah,
and the movie just looks good. But like I said, like a 7 solid out of 10, a 7.5 out of 10. I remember coming out of that movie thinking, okay, I got to get super lean. I got to start racing F1 cars.
I need to death-proof my car.
But on the passenger side,
I need to make sure I don't end up like that fucking idiot.
That fucking moron, Kurt Russell.
But that's good.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. We just had a really good time watching it.
It's like it's one of those movies that I personally don't go for, but I'm glad that it's there for people. Like you said, it's an aesthetic type of deal.
No, it's good. But so that's F1. I would recommend watching it if you have like nothing else to watch. But that's not to say like it's a bottom of a barrel movie. You get your money's worth.
Yeah,
watching it.
It's it's like one of those movies that there's nothing really like much going on in my life right now. Like I need like a break type of deal. I'm gonna go sit in the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I wish that was something that I could still have as like a pastime feeling. Because as you know, like I've said to you just in general, um, I hate going to the movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate. Um, just sitting there. Chairs used to be an issue because the chairs used to just suck.
Yeah.
If you ever been to the Cinemark in Brownsville, um, they had like those old rug textured chairs that never really even felt soft, and now they have these brand new ones, and they're okay. But it's not even that issue anymore. It's just people in general.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, let me just establish this. I hate people, and
Who are you, me?
um, every experience that I have going to the theaters has always ended up with me wondering what the alternative would have been had I just decided to deck every single person around me to get them to just to stop talking, to stop, throwing shit. The amount of times that I have gone either by myself or with friends, it increases the amount of shit that is being thrown around.
Mm.
I don't know how it happens. It was most prevalent when I got invited to go see Ant-Man Quantumania. I think that was the highest that it reached. But you kind of just go like, well, they always tell you to silence your cell phones and don't turn up the brightness or everything. Nobody's gonna actually do that. Oh yeah, people will do that. They'll have their ringers on,
Mm-hmm.
their phones at the brightest settings, and they'll go, oh well, I'm all the way up here, so nobody's gonna mind. And then they're sitting 3 rows ahead in front of people, so they have to deal with the brightness, aka me. That's the other thing. All my friends like to sit in the top rows for the movies, right? Which I can get, I understand, because they want to be like at a perfect angle to watch the movie.
Yeah.
They don't want to be too high or too low. But I've gotten so used to when we go and we sit on like the what was it, the A through C sections of the theaters of the seats.
Well, I think it's like G through
Yeah,
F. It's like F.
I
G
am
or
so
whatever.
used to the ground floor of
I love the
theaters.
ground floor.
Like it is not like it doesn't make the characters or the people in the movie look stretched to me. They look like I prefer it that way.
I think, well, no, because we're on that last row of the ground floor.
Yeah.
So like it's like we're just here at home watching the TV right there.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a problem or a deal or anything like that.
But because my friends like sitting all the way high up, I have to deal with more of that. Of those, of everybody just deciding to be the biggest assholes I have ever had the privilege to just be surrounded by. But you know what? Thank God that is none of the cases for any of the times I saw Superman.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
There's a sky waiting in the sky.
So the first time we saw Superman, we saw it on Saturday,
Last
right?
Monday.
Last Monday? Oh, you're right. We saw it on Monday.
Monday, July 7th.
No,
that doesn't make sense. Hold on. We saw it.
Yes, no, yeah, because then the next day I got invited
the 11th,
to.
Huh?
Yeah, but then I remember we saw it on Monday, and then the next day I got invited.
We saw it the 14th.
Jurassic Park.
We saw it July 14th. Fresh out of opening weekend. We went. Picked up Dad. Picked up you. We went to go watch it. I'll say it from my perspective. Well, I'll start from my perspective because I know you'll probably have more to say. You got to see it twice. So
I'll just say this real tidbit. When we were reviewing in one of the episodes, I think I opened up with like talking about how we want to avoid this becoming a big time comic channel, and I said that
if it does, it does.
I can't, but I did mention that I can't wait for the Superman movie, and I just can't stop talking about it because it just feels like we're having a movie that's not afraid to try to be realistic as possible or like make sense of it in the real world. We're just getting a pure comic book movie that's just that pushes the boundaries of what, you know, superheroes can be for films.
Interesting that you say that. A lot of people online were really loving this movie, really hating this movie, and the one that were really hating this movie wouldn't stop talking about real world issues, which we will get into a little bit.
I'm gonna let you take the ground floor for this one for the first half.
Okay, so my perspective. I was like because I know a lot of people initially weren't as accepting of the idea of like James Gunn and Peter Safran taking on the DC media, right? Like being the creative directors of the whole DC studios, right? I saw the vision. I said I trust James Gunn 1,000%, right? Because ask yourself in 2013, did you think you'd ever care about the Guardians of the Galaxy?
You know, I wouldn't doubt that there are people that did know about them
Mm-hmm.
because like even the Avengers cartoon, like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, even
It's
introduced
not the
them.
same team.
Yeah, like it's like even the characters like Star Lord, it's like very tonally different.
Different, way
and
different.
then the Guardians movie happened, and then Marvel just said, "Oh no,
Oh, those
these
are
are these are the characters from now on." This
Yeah. I think
the
this
James Gunn
like the way
effect.
that Iron Man came out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make Tony Stark more RDJ in the comics after." But anyway, I said I trust James Gunn 1,000% because one, he did a great job with Guardians. Two, even before then, he was a really creative storyteller. I like the Dawn of the Dead remake that he wrote for Zack Snyder to direct. And remember Super with Rainn Wilson?
Is that the one where he's in all red?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or was it Super?
It was like
What was a vigilante movie that was a dark
it was
comedy?
Dwight from The Office.
It was Dwight from The Office.
and being like a very violent Batman.
Because I think I'm confusing it with The Condor, which was a stupid movie with Woody Harrelson. Yeah, Super. Which I'm going to bring up later because we're going to talk about something else at the end of this when we start talking about these movies.
All right.
So I was really excited. Just to like recap, I was really excited about James Gunn and Peter Safran. And then when James Gunn said, I'm going to write and direct the Superman movie, that's going to be like the first movie of the DCU, this new timeline, you know, this new studio, this new whatever. I was just so full of joy and glee, Tony. Which sounds stupid, I know. But it makes sense for a character like Superman. Okay? Now, I'm going to say, initially, I was a fan of the Zack Snyderverse. When Man of Steel came out, I did like it. I thought Henry Cavill did a good job.
Mm.
And I think what had happened was we were just coming off of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, they're doing Superman what they did with Batman, like they're making him real. Right? So I bought into it.
Yeah.
And then Batman v Superman came out. And looking back, like I'll admit, the only good parts of that movie is just Ben Affleck as Batman. Even then, they got it all wrong with the killing. But I digress. That you see, like he does that, and then Justice League, and then at some point, like everything just starts falling apart, right? And then there was no cohesiveness. Shazam comes out, but it has nothing to do with anything. And then I don't remember, the Suicide Squad was ass, you know. But then James Gunn made the Suicide Squad 2021.
Non-lethal. You lose.
Exploding compression bullets.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck.
How many times have I seen that movie?
I think you were just on like your, I want to say, 8th to 9th rewatch as
Not
of like
even close. I think
last week.
Actually, yeah, last night I just rewatched it.
Oh, really?
And every time I rewatch it, I also rewatch Peacemaker because I think it's like well, it's obviously a companion piece, but like it's a really good follow up to just continue the movie when you follow Peacemaker. I love what James Gunn did with the characters. You know, utilizing character like Ratcatcher, Polka Dot Man, you know, King Shark. even the ones you wouldn't expect, like Peacemaker and Bloodsport, and then did a better job of writing Colonel Flag and Harley Quinn as part of the team.
Yeah.
And obviously you can tell the actress for Amanda Waller, whose name escapes my mind right now, you can tell she was more passionate about being Amanda Waller in this movie than she did initially in 2016.
She got to actually feel like she was just in the movie.
Right, like she was a big, so anyway, I obviously had high hopes for Superman. And the trailer came out. I saw the casting and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect. He's a good age. He's got the build. He's got the face. He looks like a good Superman, And then I saw the suit, and then I was one of the few people that actually did like it initially. I know a lot of people weren't that big of a fan of the lines or the whatever, but I liked it, and so I was extremely excited. And then we go watch Superman. Wasn't expecting it to be a 2-hour movie. I thought it would have been longer, but no, it was a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And for even a 2-hour movie, it is phenomenal. It is exactly what a comic book Superman movie should be. David Cornsweet did a great job as Superman. There was not one single person on the cast that I felt that should not have been there. Everybody played the characters perfectly. Especially, shout out to Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, crushing it as Guy Gardner. He had just the right amount of attitude and assholeness, but also still being a good Green Lantern. And I can't remember his name right now. I feel terrible. But Mr. Terrific. He was one of the best parts of that movie. And I was not expecting any of those characters to be in a Superman movie. But here they were. Everybody did a great job. I loved it. The pacing was good. I did think there was some awkwardness. Maybe the dialogues between like Superman and Lois, but that was only because
because I remember my friend Nico was talking about it because he said he loved the movie.
Yeah.
But he thought that because the only issue that people have had that I've spoken with are some of the pacing, and that's it, right? And they enjoy the movie in general, but it wasn't one of those scenes where I hated any one of those characters because they did bring up some points, Lois is basically asking like, are you saying you're going around representing us? Like, do you have the official stamp on that? But then Superman, Clark is rebutting it by saying, if I didn't, people would have died. So there's really like a double-edged sword that, I did not leave that scene going like, oh man, this was like a huge waste of time.
Superman, as far as my review goes, it is phenomenal. It did have a lot of the same feeling as the Christopher Reeve Superman movie. David Cornsweet got the character exactly right. I just loved. He's exactly what he should be. He's he's a bright sunny day. With the goofiness and the nerdy can-do attitude. He's got his quips. His powers are so cartoonish, so why not be cartoonish with them? Who else did a great job in the movie? It was the Lex Luthor,
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. Crushed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
He got it perfectly. James Gunn wrote the characters. Like, there was a lot of source material when he wrote the characters. He wasn't just making them in his own image like Zack Snyder did, where he just turned Lex Luthor into the Joker. The Batman was the Punisher and Superman was Batman. Like he got it perfectly. Nicholas Hoult, you fucking genius. You madman.
He's just a dog. I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog in a cage. What did you say?
I'll never get the 1A scene out of my head.
Oh yeah, that felt like just pure like D1 hater levels of supervillain, like straight out of the comic books.
It's
It
it's
was
up there
so
with
good.
Kendrick on his whole beef with Drake.
It was so good. The whole entire movie. Going back to Mr. Terrific, Eddie Gathegi. I'm hoping I'm saying the last name right, but um, it's also, and you've like there are YouTube videos about it because they go, "Oh, this is finally redemption for Darwin from X-Men."
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, he got the shit end of the stick in that movie,
he
literally
did.
playing the non-killable mutant. And first thing that happens to him in his big moment, gets killed, just to show off how powerful Kevin Bacon is.
Which he really he's a Omega level mutant. Like he should not have died in that movie. That was bullshit.
Eddie was very much the scene stealer in the movie alongside Nicholas Hoult for Superman. You know, if we're not talking about the main character of the film, uh, I cannot get that. I think it was something called like Jonah and the Whale song. That's stuck in my head forever now with that specific scene. Really just showing just how much you can have fun in showing off just how goofy these characters from these comics can be, but also how badass it can be as well.
Yeah.
Um, the whole movie, just every time I've spoken to my friends about it, they have said Rene and Miguel are the ones that say it the most. They said that this movie gives them hope. It makes them feel very hopeful. And a lot of people, you know, coming out of the movie feeling like they want to be a better person because um that's who Superman is at the end of it all, you know. I think the message he gives to Luthor at the end of it really just hits home what a lot of people thought that Superman was when it came to the Snyder's type of Superman, where it had to be
Yeah.
God on Earth, undefeatable, aura farming the entire time, and just being like forever brooding because how can I weigh the. I think what Snyder's and Gunn's version of Superman, they do have in common that Superman does feel lonely at
That he's
times.
an alien.
And no matter what, the fact that you can't escape where you came from or like who you are does have an effect on you at the end of it all.
Yeah.
But with Snyder's version, it got cut to just being like there wasn't really an arc for Superman to, and I, you know, to this day still feel bad for Cavill for not being able to express himself as like a true blue Superman.
Like a proper Superman, yeah.
But the fact that we understand that with Gunn Superman, it's telling us it's okay. You know, like you don't have to feel terrible for feeling isolated or lonely. Because hey, at the end of the day, we're all human. We can all make this mistake. We can all feel and want the drive to be better. I think even he even tells Luthor like, I hope even you realize that it's your greatest strength to just be able to go and say, "Hey, I'm not perfect, but I know that I can be better than who I am right now." Um, this movie made me cry, man. Like in both times that I went to go see it, made me tear up.
Yeah.
I think I cried at the beginning when he's getting the sunlight procedure.
Oh
I
yeah.
cried during uh, the farm scene, and then like basically like all the stuff with Mom Podcast, and then the
Yeah.
end, just the end of it.
When he's in the chair and then the super droids put the footage of his home
Yeah,
with Mom Podcan. They're like, it soothes him. And then Punk Rocker starts playing by the Teddy Bears.
oh yeah, maybe
It's
that's
a great ending. It really is.
well, maybe kindness really is the real punk rock.
Maybe being kind is the new punk rock. It really is. Now I'm gonna touch on something before we move on.
Go for it.
Superman or super woke?
Look.
James Gunn, the director of the latest reboot movie, said, quote, Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost.
Well, for one thing, it's a terrible analogy. I mean, with Superman, they are sending your best. You know, that's not escalator material.
I got to look at the script, and he's from Uganda. And there's a love scene with Batman and Robin.
Wow. I think the big tell is the actual actor. His name is David Cornsweet, and he said, guess he didn't change it to a better stage name. He found himself unable to say Superman's slogan, quote, truth, fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. He said, truth, justice, and all those good things. He refused to say the American way, and he's playing Superman. I don't know. We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. I wonder if it'll be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
Let's set the record straight. Fox News came out going, oh, wow, I didn't know that Superman was all part of MS-13, and I didn't know it was a whole thing about turning Superman to an advocate or a substitute for immigrant. He's always been an immigrant.
Yeah, the dude is a literal alien.
He's a farm boy. He's grown up on a very cultured lifestyle.
He's a DACA recipient, first of all. But like the thing is that comics have always been touching on political issues. Whether people want to admit it or not, or read it or not, like it always has been. Right, either about race, class, persecution, doesn't matter. For example, like the whole point of the X-Men was dealing with race segregations and also homophobia. Right, like it was, it's who you are, who you're born.
A freak or like a mutant to the people.
Exactly. Superman is a literal alien who wasn't born in America but adopts the American way to protect people.
No, it's never been political. We just drew Captain America punching Hitler just because we thought it was funny.
Batman is almost like a touch on the pulse of classism and poverty, how it's made by the like the rich criminals who like corrupt the system, creates more crime, which is how Bruce Wayne became a statistic as part of Gotham's crime, right? Granted, he's a billionaire who uses money to beat up more homeless people, but
Falcone paid him off to get Chill out in the open.
Maybe I should be thanking them.
You care about justice? Look beyond your own pain, Bruce. This city is rotting. They talk about the Depression as if it's history, and it's not. Things are worse than ever down here. Falcone floods our streets with crime and drugs, preying on the desperate, creating new Joe Chills every day. Falcone may not have killed your parents, Bruce. He's destroying everything that they stood for.
Yeah, obviously that's a joke.
It can these stories have always been about. It can be about politics. It can be about actual addictions that people go through. I mean, there's the Batman Bane storyline where the Venom storyline where he gets too over-infused with Venom and he has to literally go on like a detox of it. Or I mean, even more famously, the Iron Man Demon in the Bottle story.
Or on the DC side, when Roy Harper became an addict, and then he had his struggles that Green Arrow had to help him through. Like it's always been a reflection. Utilizing characters in comic books, right? And the thing about the Superman movie is that it's just using classic comic material, and it's just a shame now that everything has become so politicized when it comes to these minute details compared to the bigger things, which I will touch on. That is in the Superman movie. The little things being like the super woke things, like Superman was such a pussy in this movie. He gets his ass kicked. Well, first of all, if you had an unbeatable Superman, the movie would be over and it'd be boring as shit.
You'd have the Snyder effect where the only matchup would just be Zod, and it would just be punching back and forth from each other.
destroying more buildings and hurting more people in the process.
Which, real quick, by the way, really glad that they gave us another like character that was on the level of Superman, and they showed us that no, it's not just back and forth punching. Like one goes the other. No, they can just straight up. It's like a boxing match between two regular or like MMA fights between fighters. You know.
But the thing is that, like, for example, when he fights Ultraman, he's fighting Luthor. You know, Luthor created his perfect vessel, and it's Luthor's mind that is winning that fight, and that is how you can explain how Ultraman was beating Superman. Lex Luthor, like you said, D1 hater. He studied all of Superman. He's obsessed with Superman. He has to be better than Superman, and that is how he uses Ultraman to like beat the shit out of Superman.
What happens when you take on Lex Luthor? The same thing that's gonna happen to Superman.
But anyway, one, James Gunn did said this would be a weaker version of Superman, but that's because one, he's still figuring out how to be Superman, and two, remember, Superman. What makes him such a good character is because he was raised wholesome by mom and pa Kent on the farm. He wasn't raised by his crazy parents on Krypton who wanted him to
fuck bitches getting money.
Right?
Get a harem, Bruce. Get a harem, Clark. Be the anime protagonist that this world needs.
It's insane that he. I think that was a storyline in the 80s though, where they wanted him to kind of dominate the world. Wasn't that a thing in like the late 80s when they were doing the Superman storyline?
I guess just for like in the background, we'll mark this as like we're doing a little bit of spoiler talk, just for audio purposes, but when we go through editing. But here's the thing: when it comes to the case of Jor-El and Superman's parents, with them, because here's the thing, we're just barely hearing. This is our first glimpse at them. We don't know the full story. It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
They could be conquerors, or they could have said that as a means of like, oh, we're just thinking scientifically, and then whatever, right? But I know people were going out of this movie. Some of them going like, man, they really messed up on the Superman's Kryptonian parents, right? I'm pretty used to it, and it's because of Batman. I am used to the parents not actually being good people. And if you remember, one of the most when I came out of that movie feeling like it gave me the same vibe that I got from the Telltale Batman games.
Yeah.
Where the parents aren't actually
they weren't good people.
They weren't good people.
They were part of the disease that Bruce is actively fighting in his mission to protect Gotham. Yeah, it works. I think it works great for those situations. And it works in this movie. It does. What?
No, I'm breathing.
Oh, I see. What was I gonna say? Okay, one, that Clark Kent was raised to be a good person, right? Which is why he's a nerd, and Superman is supposed to be a nerd. He's a dork. You know who else does a great job portraying it in the Superman and Lois series on CW? Tyler Hoechlin. He does a great job playing Superman in that series, and he does it perfectly.
Oh, he understood it like day one. Even like you could look at it from his previous, like his performances in Supergirl, and then when he got his own episode in Superman, first scene that he gets, like he understood the assignment.
He did, and he the writer specifically for the show got the purpose of Superman. Like he's a protector of all. Like there are scenes where he saves a North Korean submarine from drowning. There's a scene where he saves a Russian village from an avalanche, and then the U.S. military gets after him. And he goes, "I'm not here to protect you guys or fight your wars. I'm here to protect everybody in general." Right? And that is what Superman is supposed to be. they do it in this movie perfectly too. Because now we're going to touch up on a little bit of a touchy subject, but I won't take much of it. But this was the one that turned off a lot of people internationally.
Mm-hmm.
So, Varavia was that the name of the country?
Jarhadpur?
Well, there's Jarhadpur was going to get invaded by Varavia.
Okay, yeah.
Right. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But, which, by the way, established countries in the comics way long ago.
Oh, yeah, like, I noticed that they had Markovia on the top, which is like Terra from like Teen Titans or
from the Teen Titans
Geoforce.
Judas Contract line, storyline.
Or
yeah, exactly. Like they've made a bunch of these, or like Corto Maltese, famously used in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
you know, or like Santa Prisca. You know, there's a bunch of these places, or even the one in Africa that was more prominently used in Young Justice, the Queen Bee character.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. There's been a bunch of these made-up countries in the comics way before this movie had been made. There were some parallels, whether intentional or not, that Baravia, in trying to invade Jarhanapur, it parallels a lot with what's going on today with Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of parallels. Baravia is Israel, Jarhanapur, Palestine. Here's my thing. So, a Zionist went to go watch the movie, and they came out of the movie.
I think I saw this.
Where they said, I can't believe James Gunn is making a pro-Palestinian movie.
Is that the one where the kid, he said, I took my son.
Yes.
He's like, Dad, why does Superman hate the Jewish people? See, that's where I have to feel like that was made up.
That was extremely made up.
I took my son, my political son, who was wearing his tiny suit, who sat down. Like, just imagine the boss baby sitting down, having a big smirk, right, to see the movie. Then watches the movie, and then, like, as he gets to the political subjects, he just goes,
he's on the Reddit threads. He's like on the Zionism is hot Reddit threads, you know. So yeah, that tweet, and you caught it too. Like you can tell. First of all, it's so fucking made up.
Even if it isn't, that's just crazy. I think maybe he does have a son, but I don't think the child said that. I think they were like. Maybe the son was like, Dad, can you stop talking like through the movie? I want to watch the movie.
Dad, I'm trying to watch the movie. You won't shut the fuck up. Here's my thing. Those people that are coming out saying that, Tony, at what point did we say that this was Israel-Palestine? Because you know what it was? You could apply it to any two countries. For example, right now, there's another one that's been happening a little bit before. Well, not a little bit before, but in terms of relevant, like current news, Russia-Ukraine, right? I'm not hearing Russians arguing about the Superman. Now, I don't know if they can see the movie. I don't know with everything going on. But, like any pro-Russians, I guess, in the U.S. talking about how like they're discrediting Putin.
Because we need to bring it up to what's relevant right now in the news.
But that's
like what's more popular going on.
You're projecting and revealing to yourself that the Baravian government was Israel. For all those Zionists that are coming out against the movie, you're projecting. You know, at no point were they like there were any parallels directly trying to call out Israel. I think James Gunn said that he just wrote that plot, you know, to show that Superman is not an agent of the U.S. He is an agent of the people. He's a protector of the people. He will go to Jarhanapur to stop tanks from going to villages, just like he would for the U.S. if any other invading country would.
You know, not to bring, I don't mean to bring it up this way. I don't know, take it as you will. But nobody was talking about that for as much, like Black Adam. As much as I don't like that movie, nobody was talking about how the U.S. government decided to interfere on, you know, what's going on in Kondak the moment that they were interested in, right?
Like the fact that the fact that Inner Gang was occupying Kondak That'd be like if the U.S. government told, I don't know, what's a prominent gang in the U.S. like MS-13. It's like telling MS-13 we're going to use you as a force to occupy Iran. You know what I mean? Like, why would that logic be in Black Adam? Inner Gang is a gang of bad guys that are Superman villains, first of all. And I hate Black Adam. I hate the fact that they used that for the fucking movie. And it pisses me off. And I hate it.
There's always, I liked for people, the thing is, whether or not James Gunn wrote it with current...
The intent
of, like, representing or reflecting on current phenomenons in real life right now. I mean...
Events.
War...
Not phenomenons.
War's been a thing. Between states, between cities. They've always been going on for the longest time. And, of course, it's always going to reflect at least what, at least one thing that's going on.
Yeah.
But, hey, look at that movie. That movie wasn't talking about, like... I like to think that even James would have said that he doesn't necessarily say, like, he's putting both sides. It's just that whichever side... He would probably say, like, whichever side you think it is in general, realize and recognize that genocide's not the way. Killing people for, putting blood in the streets is not the way at all.
Yeah.
In general. That is not something that we should be defending.
It is not the Superman way.
And...
But I think that the fact that the Zionists are saying that it is, it's like when we watched the review with a Vengeance.
Ranting for
Vengeance. That stupid fucking
Peter Parker
asshole.
isn't Jewish. Get it through your fucking brain, you fucking troglodyte.
I could say so many things about that guy personally.
Oh yeah, everybody can.
But okay, that piece of shit reviewer on YouTube, yeah, I think he's afraid of job applications or something.
His dad does the same thing.
That what?
His dad is also a YouTuber. I learned that recently.
It's Toboshkis.
You just hear he's going, I hated Ironheart. Because I can't do the accent properly, but it's, you know what I'm getting.
No,
it's
you're doing good.
I hate it so much. That black ugly bitch. I can't believe it. You just hear in the background, darkness and redness and whiteness.
Anyway, let me go into stores and complain about the mask. When I saw Minecraft,
when they said diamond sword.
That's me. I made that. The thing in the game. I made a song about it. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, ranting with a vengeance.
Ranting for vengeance.
I
didn't even be correcting you.
Nah, because like the guy can go fuck himself for eternity. When he said, "It is such woke bullshit. The whole movie is all about wokeness." Now, here's the thing. He talks about the engineer, and this is how he brings up the engineer. You're literally writing characters that's all about their sexuality. Like, there's this lesbian character who goes around and is trying to, like, and she's, like, beating Superman. But because she's a lesbian, at what fucking point in the movie did the engineer talk about her sexuality? The guy was assuming, first of all, like, obviously, he just assumes everything about the movie was all about wokeness. Like, this is what happens when you don't go outside your room. First of all, the guy should take a shower. He doesn't look like he hasn't taken one in, like, 1,000 years, I guess. I don't know, 1,000 days, rather. Like, the guy is wearing the same leather vest, He's, like, one of those guys, like, now that wear those, like, those Newsies caps, Like, he's like, I want to go back to the good old days when a man could, like, be his wife when she didn't make dinner. Like, you can tell he has the energy.
I feel like he's one of those people that shout out to Cumtown for that bit where it's and by the way, I'm gay.
And I'm gay. Like, that's what they think
like,
the whole Superman movie is.
Like, whenever I hear people, like, ranting that they have to bring up sexuality as, like, an actual complaint because they can't think of anything else. That makes me think of that joke from Cumtown where they go, Yes. My name is Lex Luthor, and I am a supervillain who hates Superman. By the way, I'm gay.
Oh, there's a great sketch Adi sent me on TikTok like a couple years ago, where it was like this redneck conservative who's like, well, these liberals are forcing their lifestyle on me, so now I gotta be gay. And nobody's telling you have to be gay. Yeah, so I'm gay now and I have a husband. It's my best friend, Mike. And they kiss each other and go, look what the liberals are doing to us. And look what they're also doing to us. We adopted our daughter from Vietnam and we're giving her a home. Look what the liberals are doing. I don't know, dude. You seem pretty happy doing this. Like, you might just have actually been gay this whole time.
I think I might have been gay.
Yeah, exactly. You see these people, first of all, they're the reason why, like, discourse is no longer an art. You know, that everything has to be a problem. Everything is part of the liberal agenda. Like, you can't enjoy anything. You know, you're the guy who goes on vacation to, like, Hawaii and complains about the heat, even though you actively chose to go to Hawaii.
Why the fuck is the sun out? You fucking gay son!
Or, you know, I won't have you transforming me into a gay.
That's why I stay inside. The sun rays can't make me gay or black
or transgender.
I want to, like, sometimes I will watch his videos because the way he says black is honestly, like, that makes it, the way he says it, he trains in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, just to practice those words.
Because he's been so casual.
Troglodyte.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, you can tell he's itching to say the N-word on camera and post it on YouTube.
I think he had a girlfriend. And then
she was black and gay and transgender.
I mean, either that or, you know, she fell in love with, like, you know, like a black guy or just another, you know.
Oh, you're saying like that.
Maybe, I don't know. And that just gave him an excuse, quote unquote, to just go off and go like, I fucking hate blacks and other colors, but I'll use it as a defense mechanism just in case if I want to get my point across. What's your point? Blacks!
Yeah. No, the guy's just god awful, but he's like part of the problem. Like, you can tell he's probably a Snyder bro. And like I said, Snyders have this distorted misconception about Superman, thinking he's this all-powerful god. You know what didn't help? Because you know what came out the same year as Man of Steel? Injustice. And you have those two fuckers running around as, like, the big, like, more people were playing the game in the movie rather than reading the comics that were coming out at that time.
It was around that time where I did not ingest anything new for Superman. I just stuck to, like, the old cartoons or, like,
the animated series is wonderful.
Because going back to it, to talk about the film, right?
Yep.
It's just genuinely good to have Superman back again. And he's been back, you know.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Hoechlin on the CW.
On the CW, or, you know.
Or even like Brandon Routh on Crisis on Infinite.
My friend Miguel, you know, big comic book collector as well, right? He's a fan and he's also a collector. He's got a whole bunch of the issues. And can, you know, also tell you about the issues that he's picked up for Superman, and could tell you that he picks up the issues where it's Superman. It's not him being this dark Avenger or this agent of destruction, where it's just Superman who gets invited by Lois to the park, and he's wearing the goofiest set of clothing for yoga in the park. And he's so happy to do it because he loves being human more than he likes being what people view him as a god.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, what this movie gave us is a Superman that isn't afraid to be human.
Be vulnerable.
He's not, like, his first thing, like, in an argument with Lois, he's not going to immediately, like, fly in the air, get he-vision. He's going to be, you know, like, frustrated. He'll get angry at the hashtag super shit things because he's vulnerable. He's human.
Exactly.
He'll walk out instead because he's flustered, doesn't know what else to say, and just thinks that, oh, well, I can't do anything else. It's never about him standing still in an explosion, letting so many people die, just so that he can look sad for the camera, so that we can tell that he's sad, and then that's it. Never get like anything more expressive out of him.
Right.
People can have their issues, and that's never going to change about anything in general when it comes to media or just a whole bunch of anything current. And that's fine, but I've dropped bits of it here and there in the previous episodes where I just said it just feels good to just finally be excited for a superhero movie again.
Yeah.
And to feel like this is the character that I grew up to love when I was younger. And that it's something that even if it took so many years for now, like DC, look, don't be afraid if you're getting your starting point for your films here for this connected universe. Don't feel like you have to rush to already be on the level that Marvel's at right now in dominating, the film genre and how they're dominating every other media. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to rush this thing. You want to be able to craft it carefully and make it so that it's not the goal to be the most popular thing.
Yeah.
But it's the goal with keeping in mind that you want to make this so that people can feel like they're happy to just wear a shirt of their favorite character.
Exactly.
Go out and go like, yeah, I'm a fan of Superman, of Batman, of Wonder Woman, and not just because they're cool, but because they can stand for something else that isn't just dark and brooding.
Mm-hmm.
They can stand for hope. They can stand for what people need in our lives nowadays.
Which isn't to say we don't want dark and brooding and other things, because look, I'm eating as a DC fan right now. I'm eating well. Since 2022, you had the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman, and that one also did a great job of translating the story of Batman. Both of these movies did something that I always wanted the new reboots or whatever to do. Skip the fucking origin story and get right into it, right? I love how the Batman takes the year one approach, even though it's year two technically, and he's got some he's got some experience now. Same for Superman. Yes, we still want them relatively figuring out who they are as those heroes from a young, starting out perspective. But skip the origin story, right? And have the start of the identity already coming to them. And that's exactly what the Batman did. And I love the Batman movie. And that's exactly what this Superman movie did. You also brought up a good point. James Gunn, Peter Safran, keep the steady pace, right?
Yeah.
I'm still way excited for all the future projects coming up, like Peacemaker Season 2, Creature Commando Season 2. Creature Commandos, by the way, great. It was a great series. Did you get to watch it?
Which Creature Commandos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited for the Lantern series.
Oh yeah.
True Detectives in Space. Remember when I wanted to write a Green Lanterns movie, I wanted to write a Green Lanterns Corps movie, and that was my idea.
Buddy cops.
That's exactly what it should be. Hal Jordan, John Stewart, buddy cops. Hal Jordan is the vet, while John Stewart the rookie. Figuring it out. Even though personally my favorite Green Lantern is John Stewart. I do think he's the best one out of all of Earth's Green Lanterns.
You're showing your Justice League Unlimited right there, Chris.
Which was another thing I'm going to bring up was that James Gunn said he drew a lot of inspiration from the animated series, the Superman animated series. I loved it. You can tell when you watch it in the Superman show. The movie. I hope that there's going to be a lot of parallels with the DC universe and the Timverse. The Batman from the Batman animated series and in the Justice League and Unlimited, I hope is a lot in the Brave and the Bold movie.
Yeah.
Still do the Brave and the Bold storyline, but get that dynamic, get that stoicism of a Batman from that show, who's not just this complete asshole, He's an obvious team player who cares about his teammates.
Dark and brooding to those that he strikes vengeance against, but hopeful and caring to those that need it, to his allies or to those that are just like him.
Like I'm super excited. My only gripe is that the director of The Flash is the director of The Brave and the Bold, but it's not the writer.
Okay, well, I mean, that's...
Because I will say, I did like some visual aspects to the Flash movie.
Yeah,
especially anything involving Michael Keaton as Batman. By the way, crushed it in that movie. There were things that I did like directionally in the Flash. From a writer's perspective, god awful.
Right.
However,
Parade of Corpses.
Overall, let's finish off Superman so we can move on. Overall, I give it a rating 9 out of 10. It's a strong opening for the DCU movies. I think it's a great sign of what's to come. We have people that truly care about the characters, the source material, that approach it with respect. And I did a post on Instagram some time ago. I think you saw it, where I did the guy who was like, Donald Trump, if you can hear us. I put him, and I put James Gunn, if you can hear me, please, James Gunn. And I hope I get to see all my favorites come out. Like the Justice Society of America, especially Wildcat. Dr. Midnight.
Well, they teased him in the Superman movie.
They did. I hope there's like a prequel movie showing off the Justice Society. You also have he's been working a little bit with Tom King, and I know Tom King is hit or miss as a writer.
He missed a lot.
Hold on, because when he does hit, he hits really well. You know what I'm referring to?
It depends.
Mr. Miracle. Tom King's
Okay.
Mr. Miracle.
Okay.
I hope to get a Tom King Mr. Miracle movie adaptation that gets to show. I just love Mr. Miracle as a concept of a character. You know this. I had a phase of a Mr. Miracle thing going for a while.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see that adaptation. By the way, my personal fan casting, I want Penn Badgley from You to play Mr. Miracle. Or Jake Johnson from New Girl.
Yeah, I think Jake Johnson would honestly be the best pick, in my opinion.
I could see him doing it. But anyway, I digress. Wildcat, I would love to see Wildcat. Cassandra Cain as a Batgirl.
An actual proper Cassandra
Cain, because I know you weren't a fan of the Birds of Prey one.
It took me a while. Like, someone had to tell me that was her.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? And I saw the movie. I was like, well, I don't understand. Why did people say that she was
They could have
in the
just
movie?
made up a thief girl character for the movie. It would have made a difference.
Because, like, I'm all for, like, changing the characters and everything, but, like, that's one of the cases where, like, Cassandra is not a character where you change, like, everything to make her, like, the quirky...
Well, I mean, she's like one of the most dangerous characters in the DCU.
Yeah.
Like, her mom is Sheba. So of course she'd also be like, it's like Damien. Damien was bred to be like the deadliest warrior, like so is Cassandra Cain. You do not get that vibe from her in the Birds of Prey movie. Granted, I did like the Birds of Prey movie a lot. I told you this, that I did like all the actors they got, like for Huntress and Black Canary. It's great. So I'm very excited to see what James Gunn does. I'm excited for Lanterns. I'm excited for a lot of things, obviously, but it's just that this. I do show like I am a bit biased. I do love DC a bit more than Marvel.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just so happy that this is a great start cinematically, because Creature Commandos is great. If people haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It is so good. So I'm excited for the TV shows, and I'm excited for the movies. And that's all I got to say. Superman, James Gunn Superman, 9 out of 10. What do you have to finish off so that we can move on?
This movie made me feel like it's okay to just It's okay to have a bad day, because it's all about what you can do for the next day and try to make it better. Always remember to take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, then how are you able to help anybody? Which I should have thought about that when I went to go see Jurassic Park.
You're a kid.